Integration in the European Union has been a factor for peace and also for democratization after the wars of the 1990s. It has done progress in this respect in all these countries, and we are living since more than 20 years in peace in this region after this war of genocide and ethnic cleansing, as you know. So the European perspective was very important in this respect, in this regard. But in the recent years, in Europe itself, appeared and became more and more powerful movements, I mean in the countries of the European Union, movements similar to those which started the war in this region, and with the same ideology and with hatred about the other, about the different, extreme nationalism and populism. So the horizon becomes a bit blurred, and this perspective is not so sure now to say, well, we will be integrated in Europe, but what Europe? How it will be Europe? So dossier, which is the central core, around which the other topics are structured. In this case, it is precisely this the idea of dialogue, of friendship, and of peace between the countries of the region, and also highlighting the dangers about democracy and peace. Other issues is, for instance, forum, which is one of the sections of the magazine, and in the section there are, in this issue, three authors, one from Serbia, who explains his cooperation, he's a writer, he explains his cooperation with an organization, he organized a festival in Belgrade, and he cooperates with an organization in Pristina, and they do things in both capitals, Serbia and Kosovo. Also the problem from another point of view in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And is a rather skeptical attitude, because without coming to know what crimes happened, and what were the dimensions, and who were the responsible, it is difficult to overcome. And also about collective responsibility. And the third one is of a writer from Kosovo. She is somewhere in between these attitudes. So three different angles to approach this delicate issue. Now, this is for the first issue. The second one, here, the dossiers, the special dossier, and the the central core of this issue is women's rights in the region, in Western Balkans. Here in the third issue, it is the Roma question, which is a vulnerable minority. This is another of our priorities, besides women, youth, vulnerable minorities. Also, the issue of European integration. This is the focus of the fourth issue. In the fifth is about human rights in the Balkans in general. In the sixth issue it is the role of culture and art in the society, and what could be their contribution for humanistic values of democracy and peace, and for the European integration, therefore. Then there is a special issue, because until now I explained they are more general, although they'll have a focus on the central topic. But here we have two issues which are special ones, because they are dedicated to pandemics, which is the major phenomenon these years. This is the seventh issue, and also some months later, with new problems that come into sight, it is again about pandemics. Then this now here we have the ninth issue of March of last year. This is dedicated to education of youth in multicultural contexts. It was dedicated to a scientific conference in Tetovo, North Macedonia, and I have participated in the preparation of this conference, although the organization is LOIA, Center for Balkan Cooperation, for cultural cooperation in the Balkans. It is based in Tetovo, but I cooperated with them in organizing the content of the festival, of this scientific conference about education and youth, and many of the participants were young people or professors, university professors. Now, in this case, in this special issue, it is there is a change in the relation with the donors, which is LOIA, Center for Balkan Cooperation, and a German organization. So, in this case, they not only were funding this issue, differently from the previous ones. In this case, these organizations funded the issue, but not only that, they participated, they cooperated in building this issue of the magazine. So this is a different modality of relation with those who support the magazine. Here is the content with different different contributions. There is, like in any issue, it is the editorial, which gives a general view of the issue. Then the dossier. We have selected some of the presentations in the conference. Also, the case of the other is another section of the magazine in every issue. It is the region seen from outside, and it is a German woman who has been ambassador and who has worked a lot in the question of culture and cultural dialogue. She made an intervention there, a keynote speech, and it is of public engagement in the other. And also Krzysztof Czyżewski, who is a Polish writer and activist. He also had a keynote speech at the end, a very interesting one. And this is also in the case of the other. Blok Alia. Blok Alia is another is another section of every issue. It plays with the two words, with local and alia, which is in Latin means other. So it plays with these two things, what is local and what is in relation to the other, the otherness. And here it is about cultural identities, an interview with a French sociologist who has worked in this field. Forum is another of the issues and also is related with the same topic. Not all, of course, there is some flexibility. Not all here, although it is a special issue, not all the contributions are directly related, but some are, although not being part of the dossier, are related directly to the central subject. Some others are less directly or not. But so there is a flexibility in this respect. Now another. So this is the the 10th issue, the one before the last issue, and this is important because it has to do with, as you could see in the content, with European integration and also with civil society as a factor for democracy and therefore for European integration. In dossier, for instance, you have reflections on the Balkans in relation to Europe, also the burden of post-communism, of the heritage of inheritance of post-communism. You have two texts about Bosnia-Herzegovina, one from a Spanish professor of political philosophy and from a Bosnian journalist. So from two different angles. The country who has more difficulties in this respect, and now it is a very complicated situation there because the Bosnian Serbs want to separate and create a big Serbia. This would of course create problems if it happens. And in the forum we have a related topic. It is a journalist from Bosnia. He speaks about youth and their tendency to leave the country, what is considered brain training. And it is very painful in all the regions, but especially in Bosnia-Herzegovina, people who don't see perspective there. And this issue is related to what I mentioned from the previous issue, the exchange of experiences between artists and people who are working in the field of culture. This is dedicated, it's a special issue dedicated to a program called READ, which consists of different things that I will explain briefly. As you see, during this evolution from the first issue until now, it becomes more and more focused and more structured on one issue and more coherent each issue. And so this is a progress, I consider a progress of the quality of the magazine and also a different relation with those who are donors. That is that they also contribute for the content. The program READ consists in 4 different activities. One of these is the exchange of writers or translators or artists. So an artist from Turkey spends 1 month in Tel Aviv. A writer from Albania spends 1 month in Pristina. A Serbian writer 1 month in Pristina, and so on. So from one country to the city of another country, and this has proved very fruitful. So this is similar to what I mentioned to this, what this Dutch organization is doing. And the second kind of activity is literary festivals. There will be, because the program will last 4 years, but every year there will be festivals, not all in all the countries, but in some of them. This year has been one festival in Pristina, literary festival, and another in Tirana, both with writers mostly from the region, but also from outside. Then a third activity is that they have the mobile library. They have a bus with books from own country or translated from other countries of the Balkans, and they travel to villages or small towns that have difficulty of access to this kind of literature. And so people come to know the culture of the country. This is important because if you love the culture of a country, you cannot hate the people of the country. And this year was the turn of North Macedonia for this mobile library. And an idea of a group of intellectuals from different countries of the Balkans, and not only Western Balkans, seeing the situation in Europe with this extreme right, the rise of extreme right, the growth of extreme right movements and parties getting to power, and also, what is even worse, also parties that are not extreme, they sometimes adopt the populist language and the demagogy and this anti-immigrant or xenophobic agenda of the extreme right. And this is very dangerous for Europe. And of course, consequently, it is also for the Balkans, for which the European perspective has been a source of hope and of relative stability and of peace during these years. And this concern of intellectuals, of artists that met in Skopje. I was not there, but I sent a text of a greeting, and then we had a meeting in Bucharest, and the idea was to create a kind of academy, Balkan Academy. And in this context, my idea was to have a magazine. I discussed with the other. So this is, if you could see here, the magazine of Academia Balkanica Europeana. It is a mixture of languages and also orthography in the title. Now, this is, anyway, it has the spirit of the Academia Balkanica Europeana. But on the other hand, is independent and is published by an Albanian NGO, which has the same name, The Bridge. So this is how came the idea, from this concern.